Hey, what's up guys? Alex from Cali Bassin here, and today I want to talk to you about probably the most simple basic technique for bass fishing, and it's called the Carolina rig. The Carolina rig consists of a bullet sinker, a glass bead or plastic that some may use, a swivel, some use bobber stoppers, and a worm hook, simple worm hook. Now, Carolina rig is mostly used as like a depth finder or to feel what's on the bottom. Usually when I'm using a Carolina rig, I'm feeling for structure on the bottom of the lake or whatever I'm fishing, whether it's I'm looking for an island or a drop off, but it's a really good method of fishing deeper water. So what are you going to need for a Carolina rig? What you're going to need is a simple worm hook. I prefer, a 5/0 when I'm fishing a smaller bait, but when I'm fishing a bigger bait, such as creature baits, I want to use a 1/0 just because, it's a bigger hook and it's a bigger bait, of course. You're going to need a bullet sinker, and I prefer a 3/16 when fishing, shallower water. When I'm fishing deeper, I'm going to go, maybe with a 1/8, maybe a 1/2, you never know. But it all just depends on how deep you're fishing. 10 feet over is usually when you want to use your heavier bait, so you can get a feel for what's on the bottom. You're going to need a glass bead, and I know most of you might, like fishing with a plastic bead, but when fishing with the glass bead, what happens is when your sinker hits it, it makes some kind of, this noise in the water that the fish are attracted to, rather than plastic not making as much noise. I know it sounds crazy, but it works. And then you're going to need a swivel. Not too big of a swivel, but it's going to be stopping your glass bead and your bullet sinker. Personally, I prefer using a little bobber stopper, which you could get at any tackle store, and it's a lot simpler than having to tie on a leader and all that. So what am I going to do here is I'm going to start rigging it up for you, alright? So what you're going to do is you're going to take your bullet sinker first. You're going to weave it on through, and I might remind you, cut off a leader if you don't already have a leader, maybe about a foot or two. I prefer maybe 1.5 feet. It's just all personal preference. And then you're going to take your glass bead. You're going to feed that through right behind the bullet sinker. Just like so. And then you're going to take 1/2 of your swivel. Now, I prefer the trilene knot or the polymer knot. The polymer knot's more of a, a knot I use when I'm jig fishing, or a stronger knot that I need. I'm just going to tie this on real quick. Alright. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of scissors and cut off be careful, scissors, children. Gonna cut off that excess right there, and then I've got my leader ready. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie another knot on the other side of this swivel. Doesn't matter what knot, up to you, personal preference. Tie this real quick for you guys. And like I said, it's whatever works for you guys. Gonna come around one more time. Kind of struggling here. Gonna pull that through. And then boom, you got that down. You're gonna cut off this access. And then, I've got a little bit too much, so I'm going to cut off. But make sure you leave enough line to tie your hook comfortably, and you're not cutting it short as far as your leader is concerned. Going to tie this hook. Alright, got the hook tied. I'm gonna cut off that access. Be careful not to cut off the actual line, because then you'd have to waste a whole bunch more time recutting that. They're gonna get rid of this leader. And to show you an example, what I'm gonna rig up here is a Senko and just a regular, worm. So first I'm gonna show you the Senko. What you're gonna do is go in maybe not that much, then you're gonna come right back out, alright? You're gonna feed it all the way up, and what I do is I just twist my hook, alright? And then I pull it up so it's over the eye of the hook. Then I don't know if you could see this, but you go all the way down, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna match up where the hook goes into the worm and where it's gonna come back out comfortably, without pulling or tearing apart your worm. So you're gonna bend that and go all the way through, and you're gonna come back out. And personally, it's a preference. What I like to do is I like to tuck the hook back into the worm. Now, if your worm is rigged wrong and it's crooked or anything like that, a bass are generally smart. They're gonna realize it's not the real thing. All right. So now I'm gonna take that off, and I'm gonna show you a worm. So what you want to do with the worm is you're gonna hook it normally like you would, not too far in. Come back out. You're gonna get all the way to the top like you did with Senko. Twist it. You're gonna pull it through, like so. And then you're gonna do the same exact thing. Like so. Alright. Now, personally, when I'm fishing a Carolina rig, I usually don't really jerk it. I usually pull it along the bottom. But when I find that structure, then that's when I'll start jerking. But usually the Carolina rig is the most basic rig you can use. It works well if you want to cover a lot of ground. Other than that, it's the most basic. So if you want to go out and catch some bass and have some fun, I recommend this technique. And this has been Alex, and I thank you for watching. Hope to see you on the water, and good luck.
Grab that net.
I'll just grab him with my hand. Make sure this is around my neck.
Nice fish. On the gator.